Actually, this Maslow and Herzberg has given the relationship between internal needs and the resultant of efforts, which can be extended to fulfill them. Then comes the Vroom's expectation theory, which separates the effort, which due to which it is arising due to motivation, and that efforts, performance and outcome, it separates all these three, that is effort, performance and outcome. So now Bloom's expectation theory, it assumes that behavior results from conscious choices amongst the alternatives whose purpose is to maximize the pleasure and to minimize the pain. Actually, Brooms has realized the employee's performance, which is dependent upon certain factors like personality, skills, knowledge, experience, abilities. So he stated the effort, performance, and motivation, which is exactly directly linked to one's performance, and he uses those variables like expectancy, instrumentality and valence to fulfill uh, the the parameters. Now what he has seen in expectancy is like it is his belief that increased effort will lead to increase in performance. The more you make an effort, the more will be the performance, provided if one is working harder than previous performance. So this will be there. Okay, then comes like this is affected by many of the things like number one, which is having the right resources available. That is the ideal condition. A kind of a preset is preparing. That can be termed as the assumptions. So assumptions will be like कि having the right resources available, raw material, time मतलब perfectly available हो, having the right skills to do the job, उसके पास right skills भी होनी चाहिए. Another thing is he must have necessary support to get the job done. And what kind of support he is seeking at? He's seeking at the support like supervisor support, yeah, correct information about the job. So this kind of support he is seeking at. Then comes the term instrumentality. Now, what is instrumentality? It is against his assumption that if one person is performing well, uh, that that valued outcome will be received. अगर perform कर रहा है तो एक अच्छा outcome receive होगा ही होगा. The degree to which first level outcome, जिस point पे वो first level आएगा, that will lead to the second level outcome. First level outcome में जो होगा वो डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल है सेकंड लेवल आउटकम से, है ना. दैट इज इफ वन इज डूइंग अ गुड जॉब, देयर इज समथिंग इन इट फॉर हिम, and this is affected by many of the things. This can be affected again, you can term it as the conditions, provided this could be the conditions, or you can say this could be the assumptions, this should not happen. If this happens, then performance may change. Okay, so first one, it can be there like clear understanding between the performance and the performance and the outcome. We should be very much clear about the performance and the outcome. A performance is how much a person has put his efforts. Okay, so that is a performance. And outcomes are what are the outcomes? The outcome is the conversion. Conversion is what? So the rule. So here, how can you differentiate between the performance and the outcome is the you have to bring in the reward game. ओके, मेरे बच्चे को मैंने कहा कि आपने होमवर्क करना है, आपको मैं 10 पॉइंट्स दूंगा रोज के होमवर्क करने के. ओके फाइन. और फिर मैंने उसको उसके होमवर्क करने की आदत आ गई. फिर मैंने उसको कहा कि अब हम आपके होमवर्क का लेवल चेक करेंगे, है ना. आपने कर तो दिया, लेकिन किस लेवल पे किया, एक्यूरेसी लेवल उसका क्या है, उसको चेक करेंगे. तो अगर एक्यूरेसी आपकी अच्छी है तो मैं, एवरेज है तो मैं आपको 5 दूंगा, गुड है तो मैं आपको 7 पॉइंट्स दूंगा, और बेस्ट है तो मैं आपको 10 दूंगा. तो 10 + 10 20 हो जाएगा. तो कंप्लीशन के 10 और 10 होंगे जो होंगे आपके। तो इस तरह से अगर आप बेस्ट परफॉर्मेंस दोनों उसमें दे रहे हो, परफॉर्मेंस भी आउटकम भी, तो मैं आपको 20 में से दूंगा। So this kind of a reward game has to bring in to separate between the performance and the outcome, because outcome in terms of companies portfolio is very, the product portfolio is very important. Now another thing is you need to trust the people that who has taken the decisions, on what kind of basis we are expecting the outcome, and throughout this process of outcome, transparency should be there. So this kind of instrumentality is there. Now what is the instrument here? The instrument is like to put an award game. Okay, and why to put an award game? To differentiate between the performance and the outcome parameter. Okay, the next point is valence. Now what is valence? It is the importance that individual places upon the expected ones, individual places upon the expected outcomes. For the valence to be positive, the person must provide to prefer attaining the outcome to not attaining it. For example, like if someone is mainly motivated by money, then he or she might not value offers of additional time off. Okay, so that depends upon a person also. Now the three elements are there, which are important by in choosing that one element over the other, because uh, it is clearly defined that it's a effort performance expectancy. So if effort is greater than performance, or is performance is greater than outcome, what should be the condition and how it should be taken out. Okay, so number one is E is greater than P, expectancy. So our assessment of probability that our efforts will lead to the required performance level. So this is the condition. Now next condition is like P is greater than O. This means our assessment is the probability of one successful performance will lead to certain outcomes. So this can be the condition. Now room expectancy theory works on certain perceptions. What kind of perceptions they are discussing? Because see, if an employee thinks they have provided everything appropriated for motivation, and even if this works with most people in that organization, it doesn't mean that someone who perceived that it doesn't work for them. So similarly, at a glance, if we see, expectation theory would seem most applicable to the traditional attitude work. Now, attitude work situations where employees' motivation depends upon uh, what kind of reward they are going to get, and they will put more effort for towards their reward, achievement of the reward. And however, it is equally applicable to any of the situation where someone does something because they expect a certain outcome. For example, a recycled paper, if someone is recycling the paper, then it is important to conserve resources and take a stand on environmental issues. Then one may think that these efforts are I put these many efforts to recycle a paper, and uh, one should get one should recycle the paper. So that is an instrumentally parameter, evaluation parameter. So thus this kind of theory, Room's expectations theory, is about the self-interest in rewards, but about the association of people makes towards the expected outcome and the contribution or kind of a performance they feel they have made towards the achievement of the outcomes. So this kind of this was the theory. So here three things were important, like it was effort, performance, and rewards. Now what kind of effort, performance, and reward it is talking about? How perform efforts can be there? Will his effort improve by his performance? Then if we see, if performance, then will performance lead to reward? Then in terms of reward, we see which will reward satisfy my goals. So these all three parameters has to be checked here. And what we have taken in previously, so it is the, you know, दो पैरामीटर ये लेके चले थे शुरू में कि परफॉर्मेंस और आउटकम्स को सेपरेट करना, है ना, कैसे परफॉर्मेंस और आउटकम को सेपरेट करेंगे, ठीक है. सो दिस वाज द रूम्स रूम एक्सपेक्टेंसी मोटिवेशन थ्योरी. Then comes to now learning process. So what is learning process? First of all, let us understand what is learning. Learning is the crucial element of the learning process, which ensures कि सामने वाला जो समझ रहा है, that person or learner whosoever is receiving is engaged and motivated. Because if someone is not engaged in it and not he or she cannot be motivated, then they should understand by the overall process, and the teacher himself or the professor himself should be able to provide learnings based on the individual's experience, emotional behaviors, and cognitive abilities of their students, well, receiving abilities. Then methods of these teaching techniques has to be selected in such a way, ऐसा करना चाहिए, that makes understanding learning process easy by the different learner. अलग अलग learner एक ही time पे समझ भी पाए, सीख भी पाए. And actually this system of learning is simultaneous to understand and learn. Learn means you should be after learning you should be able to implement it. So first of this both process has to be parallel, has to go on parallel, that simultaneously you to understand and you think how its applicability is all about and how you can apply it. So all these things, all both these things has to run parallelly in one's mind. And since every learner or every student has separate set of attributes in learning, so one must select a kind of a method where he or she can engage all the learners engaged, and those learners should remain motivated as well. So this kind of the situation has to be there. This is the process of learning which is all about. And then comes the various stages of learning. First one is unconscious incompetence. Second is conscious competence. Third is conscious competence, and then comes the unconscious competence. So first one is unconscious incompetence. This is the first stage of learning. This is a stage where the learner has have not learned anything yet, and is a fresh one. कुछ भी अभी सीखा नहीं है, उसके पास ना नॉलेज है ना स्किल है, and not feel like at complete at current position he doesn't feel like मैं कुछ सीख भी पाऊंगा, कोई नई स्किल सीख पाऊंगा कि नहीं. Whereas जो potential learners होते हैं, that need to made aware that he or she has to broaden their learning and can get extra value to their skill set. स्किल सेट को एनहेंस करना या स्किल सेट को ऐड करना, ये एक पोटेंशियल लर्नर की निशानी होती है. वन मस्ट नो हाउ टू क्रिएट द बेस्ट लर्निंग सिस्टम टू मीट रिक्वायरमेंट्स ऑफ लर्नर्स, है ना. वन मस्ट अंडरस्टैंड, वन मस्ट किसके बारे में कहा जा रहा है, टीचर्स के बारे में कहा जा रहा है ना, और स्टूडेंट हिमसेल्फ आल्सो, because student himself can create his own aura of learning. He has to devise his learning system also. He has to keep on working in the learning system also. Another is conscious incompetence. Now the second stage is the conscious incompetence, where the learner is aware of the skill and knowledge they are lagging into. So what exactly they are lacking into, they know. In first one, unconscious incompetence, they were not aware of about any knowledge or skill, or they even मतलब directionless थे. But here they have direction कि उनको क्या नहीं पता है. Now they are conscious of what they are missing exactly, है ना. और as a result they develop the curiosity towards they have the curiosity, to they have the curiosity to understand the things, and this ये हमेशा उनको लगता रहेगा आई एम मिसिंग समथिंग, I can prove myself a valuable one. So this is the stage of large, you know, this is the stage where large audience can be uh, can be most easily convinced to join a course. ये वो condition है. Okay, the third one is continuous competence. The next phase of the third phase of learning is continuous conscious competence. So this is the condition where learner is familiar. He knows with the subject, or what kind of skill he want to acquire, but is still not proficient enough to develop it the same into his automatic reflex, or automatic reflex action, or kind of automatic habit. Okay, so this kind of learner is knows the theory, but he is eager to get into the practical exercises. Then comes the unconscious competence. Now the fourth and final, this is the fourth and final stage, which is called unconscious competence. And this exactly is the level of achieving an expertise in a kind of a absolute mastery over the subject. Now this, let us say, if you are typing on a computer, you don't need to pay attention at every stroke here where exactly your fingers are hitting, but over the keyboard your mind is like framing the words and sentences. But this fourth stage of learning is every learner aspires to acquire. Now every learner wants this conditions, which is unconscious competence. Now what is this unconscious competence? If we practice more and more about a certain thing, then your unconscious mind is framed like ki, you need not to give more attention over this. And many of the times monotonous kind of work saved monotonous kind of work normally saves in our unconscious mind. Like if you are driving a car, or driving a two wheeler, riding a two wheeler for 2-3 years, so by the time जब आप ड्राइव कर रहे हो तो कई बार आप बहुत सारी चीजें और सोच लेते हो, या आप टाइप कर रहे हो, जैसा एग्जांपल था कंप्यूटर पे, तो टाइप करते करते आप किसी से बात भी कर लेते हो, कोई दूसरी चीज के लिए भी सोच लेते हो. सो इट इज हैपनिंग, योर कॉम्पिटेंस लेवल इज वेरी गुड, बट इन अनकॉन्शियस मैनर. मैंने आपको कॉन्शियस देने की, अटेंशन प्रॉपर देने की जरूरत ही होता जा रहा है अपने आप. लेकिन इट इज नॉट लाइक इन, इट कैन नॉट हैपन इन प्रोजेक्ट इंडस्ट्री. इट 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 इज हैपनिंग इन मोनोटोनस काइंड ऑफ अ वर्क, है ना. जो रेगुलर एक ही काम आप बार बार कर रहे हो, एक ही तरीके से करना है, बार बार वही रिपीट हो रहा है, तो दिस काइंड ऑफ वर्क कम्स अंडर unconscious competence. Then let us see what is teamwork. What is teamwork is all about. Now why this teamwork is necessary? Because this in management point of view, or any organization who is taking care of the outcome of or I can say dependent upon the result oriented work. So this teamwork is very important and quite important amongst the students. Even we see that it requires a teamwork. If proper teamwork is there, then things will go beyond the even word success. So sometimes it happens. And which is, what is teamwork? It is the collaborative effort, collective effort, collaborative effort of a group to achieve a common objective of a goal of a particular group, of a particular organization, of a particular family. So it's a teamwork all around, whether you are in a college, whether you are in any organization, whether you are in your home. So everywhere it is a teamwork which gives you, the most effective and efficient way of doing the thing or completing the thing with the desired result. Now, this type of concept we have seen normally with a greater framework of team, and this team has interdependent individuals who can work together towards a common goal. Now, certain key reasons are there why teamwork is quite important, at least at a workplace. Whereas I should say, or I should admit that teamwork has to be there in every corner of our life, because teamwork gives the grand success towards any work, whether it is a smaller one or a bigger one. It gives us a grand success. I cannot say the words about the success itself. Success in itself, it is complete, but it gives you the grand success, grand success if one is working with teamwork. Now, the no, key reasons are like, first one is the teamwork is efficient work. Teamwork is efficient, yes, because in industrial revolution, when there was a time of modern civilization, there was a division of labor, and that was the another way of saying teamwork. Now, the employee teamwork depends upon the workforce to split the difficult task into the simpler one, then work together to complete the faster. ओके, सो छोटे छोटे टुकड़ों में उनको तोड़ना, डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करना, और इस तरह से वो, और उसको फिर ब्रेक डाउन करना स्पेशलाइज्ड वर्क में, है ना। मतलब जैसे इंडस्ट्रीज में होता है, जो प्रोसेस सीक्वेंस होता है उसका, वो कैसे होता है, पूरे कंप्लीट टास्क को टुकड़ों में तोड़ा जाता है, इस मशीन पे ये होगा, अगली मशीन पे ये होगा, इस मशीन पे ये होगा, अगली मशीन पे ये होगा। तो इन ए नटशेल वो और वो भी कैसे तोड़ते हैं, स्पेशलाइज्ड प्रोसेस पे, माने इस मशीन पे आ रहा है, ड्रिलिंग मशीन पे तो यहाँ से ड्रिल हो जाएगा, फिर उसके बाद यहाँ जाएगा, फिर उसके बाद यहाँ जाएगा, तो हर जगह एक पर्टिकुलर ऑपरेशन होगा, दैट विल बी स्पेशलाइज्ड, एंड द पर्सन हु विल बी डीलिंग विद विल बी द स्पेशलाइज्ड वन। सो इन अ nutshell, if you understand this, the teamwork work make it more efficient, and that will lead to better productivity and reduced the cost expenditures, cost applicable incurred, and turns to greater profitability and other benefits as well towards the organization or a team. Then comes the second one, which is the team's self monitor. Now, how it works: when a person does a task alone, then they have total autonomy. When a person is doing a task alone, they have total autonomy. Now, what is autonomy is all about? Autonomy, जैसे मैं अकेला अपना एक बिजनेस कर रहा हूँ, तो सारे कोई भी डिसीजन लेना है, दैट इज माइंड. If I need to complete this work, I have targeted it. So it is up to me how to complete this. So this is called total autonomy. But if a person starts to work slowly or inefficiently, then nobody will say that this is going to be completed. So this work has to be taken in a positive manner, positive attitude. Now, in a teamwork, many people we have seen that have responsibilities of the same goal. Most significantly, teammates observe a dependency on the quality of each other's work. Yes, that is there, because quality of work of one stage of process is not good, then it affects the whole process of that thing. So one member's performance can, may bring it down the quality of or quality and motivation of others as well, because it's a team effort. So everybody has to put efforts as a whole, collectively they had to bring it up. And now the third one is like teams innovative faster. Yes, if the multiple perspectives, multiple skill sets, and multiple experience sets are there, then definitely teams will grow in an innovative manner also, because they will suggest each and everyone that this method will be much better than this. So this way, this innovation increases faster within the team. And then comes the fourth one: teammates learn from each other. Definitely, if it was there in previous point itself, that if a person, if a group of person have individual perspectives, uh, separate skill sets, and a separate set of experiences also, then they know their strengths and their weaknesses. So if that is there, then one can analyze and can utilize someone's strength to incorporate in themselves. So this way, this they can learn from each other. And next one is teamwork can create healthy competition. Yet it is there. Everyone will. If there are 10 people, then and they have to prove the competency level with one another. They have to prove their ability, and they have to chase the either promotions or incentives, whichever is prevailing in the organization. So that is there. Then comes the sixth one is teamwork promotes a strong working relationships. Yes, the team normally works with a true trust and true friendship in a kind of a human nature. Then inside the organization also, outside the organization also, their relation will grow like very strong. And this helps uh, the organization to get the success at a very high pace. Now comes the last point, which is stress management. And normally, this stress management, we will study how to manage stress at workplace, especially because nowadays this stress is common on all across. Earlier, it is used to have a limited area. Now it is all around, all corners of life, all 24 hours of time. It is stress. So how to manage and how to you know uh, keep that stress as a tool for yourself, not as a you know disease for yourself. So normally workload, lack of job security, personal problems, and sometimes other dragging conditions will pull your satisfaction level down. In fact, that negative consequences forms stress levels and can can develop a worldwide epidemic in also in the as it is given in WHO. WHO also worked on it, and this kind of conditions they have put it down, that workload, lack of job security, personal problems, and the employee who is dragging himself off just due to low satisfaction levels, that comes in salary incentives and decreasing salary sometimes, removing out of a job. So these kind of other conditions where uh, employees are dragged down to their satisfaction level or certain earning level or mental satisfaction level. So now, while many of us tried to construct all the encompassing list of stress reduction tactics, recent studies have shown that there is no one who can fits in all kind of approaches. If we see the workplace employee environment fits should be the primary focus. If it is a good match, then employee will be mentally relaxed. See, everybody is there uh, to be. I mean, everybody is there to work in an organization, but the mental happiness and the hygiene level should be good enough that one can should be uh, stress free and tension free to perform their job. So that is the prime focus. That should be the prime focus for the uh, from the employer's end, and as the managers and the company need to examine our employees and the environment the employers create upon. So one has to that should not be stressful, and that should be of relaxful one. Now, what are the best strategies to to start a good leadership examples from an organization is like to first one is to encourage workplace wellness. Now, how it talks about how it is like this, uh, you know, जैसे योगा क्लास हमने ऑर्गेनाइज कर दी कि ऑफिस बंदा आएगा तो 15 मिनट आधा घंटा वो पहले योगा करेगा, माइंड को रिलैक्स करेगा, मेडिटेशन करेगा, देन ही और शी विल बी अलाउड टू मूव for their cables of the work. They have to be relaxed because when someone enters into the job, उसके दिमाग में into the workplace फॉर अ जॉब, उसके दिमाग में एक ही चीज चल रही होती है, ये मुझे खत्म करना है, वो मुझे खत्म करना है, वो दिया नहीं है वो देना है, वो लिया नहीं है वो लेना है, उस पर तो काम ही चालू नहीं हुआ। तो एट द स्टार्ट वन मस्ट वर्क प्लेस वेलनेस होना चाहिए, है ना। और लंच ब्रेक में जैसे हम कहें आपको 10 मिनट वॉक करना है, आप पूरे में घूमो, जो 10 मिनट घूमो उसके कारण ढूंढने चाहिए, जैसे ऐसे मुझे 2 कोने रोज बताओ जो जिनको हम इम्प्रूव कर सकते हैं। सो फॉर दैट थिंग one will move in the lunch breaks out, otherwise he or she will sit on mobile, and they may indulge themselves in the work itself for the during their lunch time also. So this should not happen. So, and you can do like corporate cards can be given for subsidized gym memberships. You can put on a permanent yoga member, yoga instructor, and there can be like some friendly matches also can be there on any sport. So this will enhance the workplace wellness. Okay, and then comes the revamp the habitat. Now a lot of stress is coming from the environment also. Now we have to think about the aspects of the office space also. Sometimes it happens like quality of the tea or coffee or height of the cubicle can affect the employee engagement. अगर height बहुत कम है तो वो अपने एरिया पे कंसंट्रेट नहीं कर पा रहा, चाय अच्छी नहीं मिल रही, कॉफी अच्छी नहीं मिल रही, समटाइम्स दिस लिटिल थिंग्स मैटर्स अ लॉट। एंड नेक्स्ट वन इज बिकॉज यू नेवर नो कि कौन बंदा कहाँ से आ रहा है, कितनी दूर से आ रहा है, वो घर से निकलता है तो चाय पी के भी निकल पाया कि नहीं, अगर ऑफिस में भी फिर अगर उसको चाय नहीं मिले, कॉफी नहीं मिले, whosoever it is interested, या नाश्ता नहीं मिले प्रॉपर, so it may affect definitely the mental condition of an employee, and which results the poor performance of the, yeah, dull performance of the employee. Then comes the third point: allow for flexible hours and remote working. Yes, in this pandemic situation, it happens, and forcefully organizations have done this for flexible hour working and remote working, work from home like. So this can be the condition apart from pandemic we can implement upon, because this is much and more applicable for women leaders. So that is there. Next one is encourage social activities. Along with co-works, there can be social activities. Some communication has to be there, which will be easy and comfortable, more comfortable to release the stresses. Sometimes it happens like uh, weekends पे या जैसे फ्राइडे सैटरडे वर्किंग है, तो सैटरडे को अगर वर्किंग होता है तो शाम डिनर सारे साथ में लेकर this can be there, and there can be a little quiet time also, which will give you the break for a coffee or a tea. So, and then the sixth point is to, provide on-site and distance counseling. Sometimes it happens like many of the companies start doing this.